So this past week I opened up about my eating disorder and I came out about it on this channel. I didn't think I was ready for it. I still don't know if I'm ready for it, but I kind of want to stay on this track where I'm bringing awareness to mental health, anxiety, and depression. I feel like it's not talked about, I feel like there's bad stigmas, and I feel like I have some kind of responsibility to keep this talk going now that we started it on my channel. I want to continue this path of storytelling, keeping it real and raw, and bringing awareness. With that being said, I decided to make a series on this channel called The Truth About, where I talk to other YouTubers candidly on camera, super real and raw, about what they're struggling with off camera. I feel like YouTubers have a stigma that their lives are perfect, and we're all humans just like you guys. The point of the series is to completely bring down that wall and bring creators closer to their subscribers while spreading awareness and keeping the conversation going that should be going. I personally reached out to these influencers myself, and we're going to be talking about things they struggle with currently off camera. So let's bring the wall down, let's bring awareness, and let's keep the conversation going. Let's go. Hello guys, Nate is doing the dishes right now and I just got some Starbucks. Today is an exciting day. We are sitting with and talking with one of the most requested YouTubers you guys have requested me to sit down and talk with for this series. We are talking with Miss Remi. Remi, I've known in like the YouTube community for about 4 years now. I've seen her just completely grow, especially this year. This past year's been the most transformative to her. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's lost about 40 to 50 pounds, or at least that's the last tweet I saw of hers where she was posting a weight loss update. She seemed so happy, doing well, constantly posting her side-by-sides, her progress, until of recent, she uploaded a video called The Truth About Everything, and she basically just explains she wants to open up more and that she hasn't been. I reached out to her over text and she actually told me she's wanted to go so much deeper, but she felt like she couldn't do it alone, so she is really happy that I reached out. I'm really happy that I can help her and be there and just talk to her, so I'm really excited. I do still have to get ready, we're running a little behind, so let's go. I'm all ready and we are gonna go talk to Remi. I'm so excited, but I'm kind of nervous because I don't know, me and Remi have always been really good cordial friends at events and stuff like that. And we're both best friends with Alicia, so she's kind of the mutual friend. We've never talked on this kind of level ever, so I'm definitely kind of nervous. I'm sure she is too. So I'm really excited that I'm gonna be really out of my comfort zone, and she's probably going to be too. But our Uber's here, so let's go. We are super close to Remi's, and I had a ton of coffee, as you saw in the beginning of this vlog, and I didn't eat breakfast, which I don't know why I do that, because whenever I do that I get a stomach ache. And I also get motion sickness, riding in the back of cars, going on simulator rides, and that combo of having coffee with no breakfast and being in an Uber, I'm so car sick and I have to go to the bathroom so bad, if y'all know what I mean. So embarrassing, but I feel like I'm gonna show up at Remi's and be like, hi, can I use your bathroom? It's gonna be so awkward. Anyone else get car sick? Dang, Remi, you live up there. Oh my god, I love her. She's coming.
Oh, that's a very strong knock. That was impressive.
Oh my god, your couch. I just want to sleep on it.
Thank you. It's actually, you could fit, it's 5 feet deep, so if you laid like this, since you're so tiny, you could lay flat.
This is so great.
It honestly sleeps 2 people comfortably for sleepovers and things.
Look at your view. Do you want to know something really ironic? When I went through my first breakup, I was in Mia's this is the same building. So me and my ex broke up on the phone in this building, and I remember looking out at this view sobbing.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I'll move for you.
No, it's okay. But I love your apartment.
Thank you.
You and Gabby have closet rooms.
I know. I'm telling you, Gabby and I just need to hang out.
Yeah, you guys are secret soul sisters.
We are. Welcome.
Oh my god, this is so bougie.
This, I will say it's IKEA though, so it's bougie on a budget. Cute.
Oh my god, and you have another couch. Do you ever just hang out in here?
Daisy, this is her favorite place. I'll honestly lose her all the time.
Bougie
I'm where is
puppy.
she? And she's just sleeping on this couch.
Bougie puppy.
No.
Her and Lily would be friends too.
They actually I feel like Lily's a version of Gabby, like the dog version, and Daisy's the dog version.
Oh my god. Oh, wait, and they're both are named after flowers.
They are.
I think I missed the group photo.
No.
I know, I was that drunk. This is so legit.
Thank you.
Your bed is like a queen's bed.
Oh my god, thank you.
You live like a royal person.
Thank you.
I love it.
I'm really nervous.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think it's good that you're talking to me because I feel like we have always been like good friends at like beauty cons or like in group settings, but one, we've never really hung out one-on-one, and two, we've never, like every time I see you, it's always like very just happy, and we've never talked serious.
Yeah.
So while your subscribers are going to be learning more, I'm going to be learning more.
I know, I feel like I don't open up a ton online, and when I do, it's very like fixed, I guess you could say. I like, not like I plan it like that, but I don't know. I feel like I'm always like a little scared because comments really bother me.
Okay, you recently, like this year, I want to say like, I haven't seen you a lot, but I've seen a lot online of your huge transformation and even kind of like how you act. I feel like this has been like your year of transforming, like 2017 to 2018. I feel like you've just gone through, I feel like not just a physical change, but I see a little bit of like a mental change, like just how you act a little bit.
Okay, well it's very true. Yeah, I started my whole journey like, I think around 10 months ago. It's been almost a full year, and I get told all the time, like, you've changed. Obviously, physically I've changed. Mentally, I know I've changed too, and I know that I'm a completely different person than I was a year ago, but at the same time, I'm having this issue where people keep telling me I've changed, and I know that I've changed, but I can't really pinpoint how. Do you know what I mean? I have like a lot of people in my life, like, you're different, you've changed, you're not the same anymore, and like, I know, I see it, I just don't know exactly how. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I completely understand. I feel like some people on YouTube, they either drastically change and then they get like used to those comments. From what it looked like from the outside was you were literally always happy, never had a bad day, always had the best shopping spree, always like, your life just seems so happy, and then all of a sudden I feel like I've seen that something changed.
It's not as happy. Yeah, I feel like I did that without even thinking about it, but the thing is, like, what I've said, this is like, it's hard to put into words. I was telling you how in the video that I did, it was just me kind of talking about everything that I've been going through, and a lot of people were saying that they wanted more, like, she didn't even answer anything, this and that, but the struggle that I'm going through right now is I don't have the answers. I'm like still going through this right now, and I think creating that facade of like being happy and just everything's good all the time, I didn't intentionally need to do that. I really was just like happy a lot of the time, and like when I was sad, I wouldn't put it online, whereas now I think I'm a little bit more comfortable and getting older and maturing and dealing with all of this stuff. I'm a little bit more open with sharing it. Still, again, I'm scared to share everything because it is our personal lives as much as it is entertainment and our jobs. So I feel like, yeah, I created this like facade almost on accident, and it was like really happy, and I was really happy, but then with all these changes came all these insecurities and things that I wasn't expecting. So now I'm dealing with it publicly because I feel like I want to share, but then I don't want to share too much, and it's like this weird struggle that I'm having.
I totally understand, and that's definitely the reason I didn't come out about my things until recent, because I didn't want things to come back and bite me. But then I feel like I also realized that it's really hard being a YouTuber because we make a living off of being ourselves and being genuine and making people feel like they're living our lives with us. But that's hard to do when you're going through something and you don't want to show that, because it's like, then it defeats like the purpose of being a YouTuber. But that's hard because it's like, it's asking a lot from us, because it's scary to just project all your insecurities and your bullshit. It's like, I'm dealing with something.
Yeah, completely.
So it's like, I totally understand.
It's your life and like what you're dealing with.
I want to start with, what led to you losing weight, and when did it start when did you realize, oh, this is working, and what made you like make that decision to like make that huge change?
For me, I've always, for a very long time, struggled with my weight since I was a kid or so. Once I hit like a teenager, I started struggling with weight a lot. I just really love food, so that was hard.
Same.
And then also growing up as a dancer, being a competitive dancer and being with little girls that are this tiny, you know, it's something though that I get a lot is like, how come you were so confident in this and that? For me, I've never been really one to compare myself to a lot of people. So even when I was dancing with girls this tiny, I'd be like, we're both working it up on this stage. Like, it's totally fine. Like, it didn't cross my mind, whereas I know normally a lot of people would be like, well, why don't I look like that? So a lot of people ask me that, and it sucks because I don't have an answer. And I wish I had an answer so I could help people out and help them be more comfortable. But for me, it was just, since a young age, just instilled in me like, oh, this is me, that's them. Like, I was able to kind of separate the two. But throughout the years, since I was young, I tried losing weight multiple times, whether it was like, I was on Nutrisystem in middle school, like I was doing that didn't work. And then got to high school, I would like diet on and off. And eventually when I got to college, I came like the freshman 30 or so, and I just, you know, wasn't working out. I went a whole year at one point where I didn't work out. I feel like finally something clicked in me after trying diets however many times and trying to live a healthy lifestyle about a year ago, when I just decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for me. I had so many times growing up doctors telling me, like, you really need to lose weight for cholesterol, blood pressure. My mom would beg me solely for health reasons, like, please, like, we need you to like live as long as you possibly could. But it didn't really stick for me until I finally was like, okay, I want to do this, and I want to do this for me and for nobody else, not for the comments of people telling me, you're fat, you're overweight, you need to lose weight, this and that. It was solely just like, I want to do this because I want to live my best life. I want to be healthy, and I just want to be happy. So that's when I finally did it.
And would you say how many pounds less later, like 60?
I lost about 60 pounds, yeah.
So 60 pounds down.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you say your mindset is, and like, are you surprised by how you feel?
Ooh, okay, this is a good question. So I lost like 60, as of yesterday, it was like 61 pounds. And so when I set my goal almost a year ago, I'm 6 pounds away from that goal. And I have to say, like, this is something that I'm dealing with now. I thought that I would be a lot happier, I think I'd be a lot more content and like excited about everything, whereas I'm nowhere near mentally where I should be or where I thought I would be, because there are so many things, and I've talked about this before, how before I lost the weight I was just like, oh, like, this is just me, like, this is my body, very content with it and just like accepting of it, which is where I'm trying to get back to. But right now in this moment, what I'm dealing with is all these insecurities of like, well, I'm like working out constantly. I'm working out 2 times a day, 3 times a day, eating this, eating that. Why is this still here? Like, why is my like muffin top still there? Like, why isn't this changing? Like, I don't understand. And so it became this like unhealthy thing in my brain where I just like was just fully consumed with just everything, health, fitness, eating, just constantly. And I've gotten to a better point right now, but I still have I know I have a lot to work on. Whereas like in the beginning, like in the first like 3 to 5 months or so, like it wasn't good. I would go to bed, you know, I should have eaten dinner, and I was like, no. It was like a weird race in my brain where I was like, I need to like lose this weight as fast as I possibly can. And then it didn't take until a little while ago where I kind of hit this plateau. I still am dealing with these things where I'm like not fully happy, and I know I just need to get into that mind space of like, you're never gonna fully be happy. That's the thing. And I don't know when I'm gonna get there. Again, it's something that I'm working on right now, and I feel like I don't talk about this with people because I don't want people to know that I am struggling with it. And I know I paint this like, oh, I'm so happy, and I am really happy, and I don't vlog or film unless I'm happy because I'm not gonna fake it for anybody.
It's just interesting that you talked about how like you kind of came to terms with like your weight before you started eating healthy, and you kind of were just like, this is me and I'm just gonna rock it. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that you said you're not as happy as you thought you would be, and do you think you were a little happier back then when you weren't so consumed?
I think so, because I didn't care.
You didn't care?
I didn't care.
I relate because I talked to Sierra about this too. Mm-hmm. We all said that there was a phase of YouTube where we all just cared about the content and not how we looked in the content.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like we care about the content and how we look, so it makes it extra more stressful. And we almost wish we could go back because we don't know how we did that. Like, we don't know how we didn't care about how we looked. And there's almost an innocence there, and it made us happier because like we weren't so focused on how we looked. It's almost, and I'm really glad you touched on this because I feel like when you look for happiness externally, I think a lot of us are fooled by thinking we're gonna be happy if we look like this, or if we have this material thing. And then when we have it, or when we look like it, and we're still not happy, it's an even worse sadness because it's like, well, damn, now what else do I have to do to get happy?
Oh, completely. It's just like what I was telling you about how like you're just like chasing this like happiness,
chasing
this,
a happiness
feeling
that's not
that you
real.
have. Exactly. It's like it's false reality. I would get those questions like, how are you so confident? And for me, when I was overweight, I talked about this in the video too. It's just like it was almost like a backhanded, not a backhanded compliment, but I knew there was more to the question. Like, how are you so confident when you look like this? How are you so confident when you don't look like how society says you should look, and things like that? And that always would just eat me alive inside. I'd be like, oh, like answering with a smile on my face, but deep inside I'd be so embarrassed that they had to ask me this question, and it just didn't make me feel good. Even when I get down to my goal weight that I set, I know I'm not gonna be fully where I thought that I would be, but how was I supposed to know that?
What would you say was like your worst point?
For me, I would say that I feel like I came across as being like, not that I'm not body positive, I'm all about body positivity, but I became almost like the poster child for body positivity because I was overweight and just living my life and being happy. And so that honestly put a lot of pressure on me. I was so insecure that I would edit every photo. Like if I had group photos with friends, I'd be like, please send it to me first so I can like make my face smaller. I can like distort the picture. Like I would just edit my body to no end and then I'd send it back to them. And like, okay, so now you can edit it however you want and then put it up. But like it would cause me this like anxiety of like, oh God, if they put it up without me seeing it first, I'm like, oh my God, like what people are gonna know and things like that. I would edit all my pictures when in reality, I mean, I'm sure some people could tell, but you don't even realize what you're doing, but it created this like false reality of like, oh, you know, people think that's me, when really it's not, because I am, I'm like, and I'm posting like, I'm so happy in my body, yay, like here I am like in this bikini, like on the beach, like yay, body positive, when really I had edited my body. I had like made sure my friend stood so far back so you couldn't really see, and like I was like holding a pool floaty in front of me, something like that, just like always hiding, always changing it. And I feel like people had no idea that I really was so insecure, but I felt like I kind of had to like put on this fake confidence sometimes because I didn't want, you know, girls who did look up to me for being overweight and still like loving my body, loving myself. And I still did love my body, but I dealt with struggles just as much as everybody else did. And I feel like I'd go to these panels and things, people would ask me how, and I'm like, I don't know, because I'm dealing with it too, but I didn't really know what to say. And I still, even panels now, I don't really know what to say because, again, I'm dealing with it in this moment right now.
Do you think when you started your weight loss journey, that whole like branding you did with like being confident no matter what size you are, were you nervous that like losing all this weight would like change that?
Oh yeah, I got asked to do a body positivity panel. I was always so scared that like, oh no, are they gonna think that maybe I'm not body positive anymore, because body positivity is all about accepting the body that you're in. And then I lost all this weight, which granted was just to get healthy. Like I really just wanted to live the longest life I possibly could. But I was so scared of people being like, well, you didn't accept yourself, like you changed. And I was afraid that people were gonna be mad at me. But I have to say, like, now I get a lot more hate than I used to. I feel like before the hate that I would get would be like, you're fat, lose weight. And it was just like very looks based, very weight based. And now I'm getting a lot more hate, and in the beginning it was really, really hard for me to deal with. But now the comments are still that I should lose weight and things like that. They still attack my weight, but it's also like that I've changed, that like I'm doing things that I wouldn't have before, that I'm wearing things that I wouldn't have before, and all these sorts of things. And it's like attacking me and my personality and me as a person now, so it's a lot harder than before, where I just be like, oh, whatever, like they don't get it. But I've also learned that like you can change completely, like I did. I lost the weight, they told me to lose the weight, and I'm still getting comments now. And so I'm still learning again, but I'm starting to understand more like, okay, you really can't please everybody.
No, they're always gonna find something to hate about. You can't let the good comments define you, because then you're gonna let the bad comments define you. You just have to live as if no one's commenting on your life.
That's really good.
Do you think, I mean, it seems like the timing of when you changed your lifestyle, you changed like who you hang out with?
I don't think that was an intentional thing. I know it wasn't an intentional thing. Something that I'm actually really scared about, and that I've been scared about on YouTube is how I've kind of gone through friends on YouTube, and I've never wanted to appear as that person, but I feel like that's kind of what it's seeming to be like. It's like I, have someone in my life and then I just drop them when I like don't want them anymore. But like, if people know me in real life, like that is the last thing, and it's hard on me, obviously. Like, I don't ever want to lose a friend. Then people are like, where'd this person go? Like, oh my gosh, and people just start thinking that like I'm the bad person. When, sometimes I'll completely own up to it. Sometimes in friendships, when they end, it is my fault. Sometimes it's their fault, and sometimes it just happens naturally. But I will say the people in my life right now, I think came into my life during this transitional time because I really needed them. I don't know where I'd be without them. I've made, especially in the past year, so many mistakes and so many things that I wouldn't have done before. And I'm like figuring out who I am as a person, and I'm making these mistakes. And I've said some days I'm like, oh yeah, I really like who I'm becoming. And some days I really hate who I'm becoming. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this to someone? Why is someone doing this to you? And it's hard for me to kind of cope with and understand. But these people that are in my life, whether they are YouTube friends or home friends or college friends, whoever it may be, they are in my life still because they truly are just on my team and just rooting for me, and will be there if I text them. I'm like, I did this, or I did this again, and they're like, doesn't matter, like I'm here, it's gonna be okay. The thing is also like people, yeah, they know us, but they don't really know us. And so when I did this switch, and like, the majority of my weight that I lost was within the first 3 months, and that was a lot to lose in a short period of time, so it was a big change to understand. Yeah, I think I lost, I have to go back and look, but I think it was like 40 pounds in the first few months, because when you have that much weight to lose and your lifestyle is one certain way, when you just change it, you lose it very quickly, and then you plateau eventually because your body starts to get used to it. So that's kind of where I've hit a couple plateaus along the way. Now I'm in one again.
What do you mean? Like, what is a plateau?
Where you're working really, really hard and you're still eating healthy, you're still working out, but your body just kind of like, it loses, but very slowly versus losing a mass amount in the beginning. So going from that huge change in the beginning,
it just, from the outside, it almost looked like it came so easy.
That's what Alicia told me too, when she actually mentioned that just like randomly in conversation. I was like, I had no idea. This was like a month ago. She's like, oh, well, I think it came across this way. I was like, really?
I had no idea you're going through this. Like, I genuinely would see your tweets and be like, good for her. Like, her life is good right now. Like, she's living her best life, like losing weight, happy as freaking can be.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you post this video and I was like, oh my God.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I had no idea. I feel like I don't really think about how I come across online. I don't really think about it much when I'm posting things. I'm just like, oh, I post this, I post it, and I don't want to post where I'm feeling insecure, and it's something that I need to work on more. So
it's so easy to want to just post your highlight reel.
Oh yeah.
Because you want to be able to look back at your Instagram and your videos and be like, yeah, this is my life. But really, it's your best parts of your life.
Something for me too is like, now I'm kind of getting into dating more. I just had like my first real boy experience, and like it was bad. It was like my first real boy experience, and I don't think he actually knows that. But dealing with that, and then also like the changes and me changing as a person, I learned so much with that whole experience about myself, and that had a lot to do with, all the changes going on in my life. But I almost kind of felt like Hannah Montana sometimes, where it was like living this weird double life of not just like the boy thing, but just like what was going on behind the scenes and then what was going on in front of the camera, and like things that I didn't want to talk about boy stuff. And now that I'm getting into dating and things and like meeting guys, it's something like the weight loss is like an awesome thing, but I'm also like, are they gonna like not want to date me because of it? It's something that I kind of was like embarrassed about, like sort of embarrassed with who I was before. And so for a good amount of time, I actually went back on my Instagram and I archived like any photo of me before I lost the weight. And I was just like, it was just like a plethora of just like food pictures, daisy picture, food picture, daisy picture, because any picture that I had in between I took off. And I realized recently, literally a week ago, I was like, you know what? Well, they can easily Google search me, so it's not like just on Instagram.
I feel like any guy would find that so attractive, like somebody who like set their mind to something, had a goal, worked at it, changed their lifestyle. That says a lot about a person. So to hide that is hurting yourself.
Well, thank you. And I feel like it just took me a week, literally a week ago. I was like, you know what? Who cares if there's a guy that doesn't want to date me because of this? Like, this is me.
It's a part of you.
Me, exactly. It's a huge part of me and a huge pivotal life change that I made. So it's just not going to work if it doesn't. So I went back and I unarchived a ton of the pictures, and I was like, you know what? I need to be proud of what I've done. I should be proud, but I shouldn't be hiding it, whether it's for a guy, whether it's for anybody. Like, it's something that I've done and something that a huge accomplishment, something that I wanted to do for years. So I don't want to hide it.
When you said when you were with dance, you knew you were different. And sometimes when you're around like all your friends, do you still sometimes see yourself as like looking different and like being hard on yourself?
Yeah, actually, I went over, that guy that I was seeing, one time I went over to his house and like his friends were there, and I remember just being like so ridiculously insecure in myself and like leaving. I remember just thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna leave and they're all gonna be like, she's fat, dude, like what are you doing, like what's happening, like what are you thinking? And like I told my friend that later and she's like, what are you talking about? Like you shouldn't have to think like that, like you've worked so hard to get to this point. I'm like, I think about that all the time and I feel like, oh yeah, the old insecurities will forever stick with me. I don't know if there's ever going to be a day where they're not there anymore, just because for so long they were instilled in me. But yeah, and that was like a couple months ago, and that just was really, really hard for me, and something that I still like look in the mirror and I don't see it change sometimes. I feel like I'm still me, because it was always me. It just physically I look different, and it's not until like I pull up a picture or a video of me before I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I looked like that. Like it's just hard for me until I see it side by side, and that's me. And it's a roller coaster. Like I know deep down, I know I'm still a good person. I know I'm still nice, and like I haven't changed in that way. It's just like my confidence has changed. I might wear different clothes now, but like the thing is, like before, I feel like I would have like I twerked on walls in middle school, high school, like just because it's fun and like that's my sense of humor and like that's me. And I do it now, but now when I do it, it's like, oh my god, like she's so slutty now and this and that, and like. But like before I would have done it, but before it was funny because, not because I was overweight, but I was just like, oh my gosh, she's just having fun. But now I do it and people are like, you know, naming me certain things and like assuming that I live this certain lifestyle because of how I look. I'm like, it's just still me. A lot of people have explained it to me like, I've almost lost this sense of relatability, because who doesn't struggle with weight? Like very few people, like there's a very small percentage of people who don't struggle with any sort of body conscious issues. So, you know, when I make it seem like it was so easy, which I had no intentions of, it's just, I am really scared to be vulnerable online. Now I know I'm not as relatable because I know not a lot of people, you know,
Have lost
60 pounds or are as, I would say I'm kind of obsessed right now with like eating healthy, working out, and it consumed me at one point.
I'm really happy that you wanted to do this, and I know it's really scary. Sometimes it comes out better when you're talking to somebody.
No, like sitting down and talking to the camera, it was just me rambling, and I feel like that's kind of why I talked in circles, and people are like, well, she didn't explain anything. I was like, I thought I explained everything, but then I also understand, like, I worked through a lot of stuff right now on camera that I haven't been able to.
Because I feel like sometimes when we sit the camera, it's ingrained in our heads to like, for the longest time, we're from that lifestyle saturation, like we're from that DIY generation on YouTube. So when we sit down and put on a camera, we're so used to going, hey guys, so today we're gonna, so it's, even just talking to a camera about a serious topic, we still are like, we put on this voice and look at ourselves in the viewfinder, and like, it's not as genuine as like having a conversation.
Oh yeah, also with the pattern of the past, like, it's only going to get better as I'm learning, and I'm learning what to keep in my life, what not to keep in my life, and what I deserve, what I don't deserve, all these sorts of things. And then also just taking care of myself mentally and physically is really, really important. I've realized I'm 23. I'm super confused in like every aspect of my life, but that's okay. It's okay to be confused.
I love that you just said that.
Yeah. I've learned that you can't figure out what you do want until you figure out what you don't want. And the only way you're going to figure that out is by living through it. Our lives seem like a reality show, and I think that's the weird thing that sets YouTubers apart, is like we get to pick what we put online, we get to choose what we want to make, and it's our real lives. But it's really hard when there is reality TV and it kind of seems very similar, the two, like a vlog. I wouldn't say that I developed an eating disorder, but I definitely, like, some days I wouldn't eat enough. Some days when I definitely should have eaten dinner, I was like, no, I'm just gonna go to bed and like wake up and work out and fasted cardio and this and that. I just kind of like kicked it into high gear. I had a great time at Coachella. I came home and I was like, I kind of started that routine again because that's what I knew. Like the Monday I got back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do workout in the morning and then SoulCycle at night and then this and that. I was like, wait, you don't need to do this. Like, I shouldn't have done it before. So now, like, this is your life. Like, you're in no race for anything. Whether you're going on a vacation or not, like, you don't need to starve yourself at night and not eat dinner because even if you are going to Greece next month, like, you shouldn't have to do that because it's not real. It's your real life. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. So after Coachella, I came home. And since then, I've been able to kind of develop this healthier lifestyle. It's life. This is just my life now. I've made the changes and I need to just implement them, and that's just it. I thought that I was going to lose the weight, I was going to be happy, I was going to have all these boys in my life, I was going to have the best friends and this and that, and then I was like, wow, insecurities that I like did not even expect coming from the woodworks are coming out. But I like that we've gone through two completely different things but can relate.
It always starts either unexpectedly or with the right intention, and then once you actually like lose the weight, then new insecurities come out and you don't expect that because you think it's only going to get better. But sometimes with change, especially with body image or like even just like your physical appearance, it'll bring out more insecurities.
Oh, completely.
Like I feel like genuinely that's why like when people start getting like work done, like they can't stop because it's like you just,
what else can I change? What else do I need to fit?
once you start thinking about it, then you keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think not only will your subscribers feel like they're not alone, but I think after this you'll realize you're not alone. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I know I am too, actually. I feel like I just need to break down the wall, and I don't think it's going to be an overnight thing, but even this, just like baby steps. I think I'm ready to start making the changes.
It's all about like the climb, not to get all Miley Cyrus, but
my girl.
It's not about getting to the top, and it's not about being at the bottom. It's about like your journey to your goal.
Yeah.
And I think putting out just the good of getting to your goal looks like it's a breeze.
Yeah.
And then it's just like embracing the fact that it's not.
Yeah.
I would have never known.
I think having people like you and Alicia or even commenters tell me how, even my manager too, she mentioned it too, she's like, oh yeah, like it looks so easy, and I was like, only I knew what I was struggling with because I didn't post about it, but I didn't even think about, because I'm so consumed with what I'm dealing with, I didn't even think about how it was appearing from the outside. So it's nice to know that, and I can't go back and change it, but I can move forward from now on, which is good, and I'm glad that I took this step.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of
Wait,
myself.
awkward hug?
No.
Because no, look.
Oh god. Thank you.
And this is the funny ending because we don't know where to look.
Bye.
Bye guys, we hope you guys enjoyed this. This was real.
This was really, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed tonight and just like think about all this. Big breath in, big breath out. Bye.
Okay, that went so good.
No, that was the best therapy session I have ever had.
Really?